Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. We are excited to introduce you to Oro Group, a dynamic ecosystem where innovation thrives across our diverse portfolio of companies. Consider this your exclusive preview into Oro Group, where our venture studio acts as the nucleus, nurturing groundbreaking ventures that redefine industries from the cutting edge of tech and AI to the holistic realms of wellness and education. Our portfolio proudly showcases pioneers like Oro Digital, Oro Liquid, and Oracle, alongside transformative forces reshaping the financial landscape, such as Oro Token Quest and our proprietary Oro Investment Management System, that is IMS. We also champion impactful ventures like Oro Edu, Oro Talent, Oro AI, Shabd, Idle Development, and Oro Yoga, each dedicated to creating significant value within their unique spheres. Whether your passion lies in the intricacies of technology, the dynamism of finance, the power of education, or the balance of wellness, Oro Group offers a fertile ground for your passion and professional journey. A place where growth is inherent, learning is continuous, and your contributions truly matter. Let us now explore the unique essence that makes Oro Group an electrifying launchpad for your career. Over the next few moments, we will be peeling back the layers of Oro Group, offering you an insightful look into our identity, our mission, and most importantly, how you can become an integral part of our ambitious trajectory. Just a quick note regarding questions. As we proceed, please feel free to share any queries that you may have in the live chat. We have dedicated time at the end of this session to address your questions directly. Our priority is to ensure you gain a comprehensive understanding of our group, so please don't hesitate to ask anything that's on your mind. At Oro Group, our ethos is built on a foundation of vibrant energy, rapid movement, and exponential growth. We are not just about incubating individual businesses, we are architects of interconnected ecosystems where groundbreaking ideas take root, innovations are cultivated, and individuals are empowered to make a tangible impact on the world. Every day here presents stimulating challenges, enriching opportunities for learning, and the profound satisfaction of contributing to a vision that extends far beyond individual roles. Our founders are forward thinking leaders who consistently challenge conventional wisdom, inspiring our teams to transcend traditional boundaries. With the rich tapestry of ventures spanning from the forefront of technology and finance to the vital sectors of wellness and education, we are a company in constant motion, embracing change as a catalyst for progress. We are actively seeking individuals who are energized by complex challenges, demonstrate inherent adaptability, and possesses the agility to thrive in a perpetually evolving landscape. If you are driven to engage in meaningful projects, to evolve alongside visionary leaders, and to actively participate in shaping the future, then Oro Group offers the ideal environment for your aspirations to take flight. And it is with immense pleasure that we now introduce the guiding force and visionary architect behind Oro Group, one of our esteemed founders and our president, Mr. Amar Anand Singh. His exceptional leadership and unwavering passion have been the very sense of our collective achievements. We are deeply honored to have him join us today to share his invaluable perspectives and illuminate the exciting path that lies ahead. Amar sir, thank you for being with us today. Your presence is a true privilege. Kindly allow us 2 minutes. He is joining us right.
Yeah. Hey, Ritu, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hi. So who do we have on?
Give me a second, sir. Yes, today we have Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune, BBD Educational Group from Lucknow, and Jamia Malia Islamia from Delhi.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, hi everyone. Lovely to meet you. Who are the placement coordinators from these three institutes?
Um, Brushali Kulkarni from Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Dr. Dheeraj Tiwari from BBD Educational Group, and Ariba from Jamia Malia Islamia.
Okay, wonderful. Well, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Amaran. I'm the founder of the Oro Group. Just a quick background of myself, and then we'll jump into the placement opportunities that we have at the Oro Group. But I, grew up in India, between Chandigarh, Karnal, and Delhi. Went to St. Stephen's College to do economics honors, and then went on to the London School of Economics, and then to Stanford Business School. Started my career back in 1999 at McKinsey and Company, New York, which was the capital of the world at that time. And I'd say about 55% of the Fortune 500 companies in the world, their CEOs came from McKinsey. So it was kind of this happy hunting ground where it was a fast track to CEO at Citibank or American Express or GE. And so I followed one of my clients at McKinsey, City Group, which you guys probably in India know as Citibank, to the M&A committee and the board. So working directly for the CEO and the CFO in New York, basically helped run their balance sheet, which was $2 trillion, the largest balance sheet in the world. We took a very large stake in HDFC Bank, which at that time nobody had really heard of, and had a call that it would become one of India's leading private sector banks, which it has. Um, various other acquisitions from household finance in the US to Banamex in Mexico to Bank Handlowy in Poland. So I did that for about 5 years and then did my first Web 2.0 startup in 2006. We were lucky to become the top 50 startups in the US, along with Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Yelp. So we were the first cohort of Web 2.0 companies. And then the next big thing, in careers at that time was private equity. So private equity started raising these large funds, and I joined one of the leading private equity firms called Cinven in Europe, and was heading up Asia for them and looking at business and financial services investments. So did that for 3 years, and then hedge funds became kind of where some of the best talent was going, because unlike private equity, where it took 7 years to basically realize profits, in hedge funds you could realize profits every year. And unlike private equity, which was much more hierarchical, like you had to start as an analyst and spend many years. Sometimes you had to wait for the managing directors to die to basically become partner. In hedge funds, it was much more mobile. So young people could come, have great ideas, invest. At the end of the year, you could very clearly see a report card of who had made money, who had lost money. And then you had, big payouts. Sometimes you got paid out, millions of dollars in bonuses. So, I moved from India to London to New York and then to California for business school, and then to Hong Kong, China for the last 10 years to where we raised the fund. And in 2017, we basically saw that tech and entrepreneurship was becoming big. We also thought that valuations had become quite high in the space. So instead of just investing in, we're early investors, through the Taiwan fund in Hong Kong, into Uber, Palantir, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Cardeco, 1MG, Alibaba, Tencent. And that's on the private side. On the public side, as I said, we were large owners in banks and insurance companies. So IndusInd Bank was one of our largest holdings. So after the Hindujas, we were the largest owner of IndusInd Bank. But we found that, the world had kind of moved from hedge fund being the coolest thing to do to basically Elon Musk creating this new model where instead of doing financial engineering, the smartest young people were encouraged to actually build something for society that had value, that created a legacy, that created a utility for society. So if you were to ask me now, where is the talent? If you went to Stanford or Harvard or even IIT or in any of the top schools, I think some of the smartest people now are actually going into entrepreneurship. They're joining startups, they're joining young companies where they get a leadership role, they get responsibility. They're not just, I mean, nothing wrong with Infosys. I think Mr. Narayana Murthy and Nandan Nilekani and all these guys are some of the greatest Indians there have been. But these are large 100,000 type organizations, so you can only move the needle that much in terms of your contribution, especially at a junior position. But in these other startups and younger companies, you can play a very prominent role in being involved in the disruption that's happening around us. So that was the reason for starting the Oro Group back in 2017. And there's now about 15 companies that we've built literally from the bottom up. We of course partner with management teams and experts in that area, but a lot of the ideation we handle. So to give you a few examples of that, we've got prominent companies in AI, in blockchain. So Oro Digital, which is one of the marquee companies, where we, actually acquired a Nasdaq listed company called Diginex. They had a order management system and portfolio management system, so basically trading software that we've now built up into one of the leading assets in the digital space. We are very fortunate to have the ex-CEO of BlackRock as the chairman of the company. So Peter Nez, BlackRock is the largest company in the world by assets under management. It's about 10 times the size of India's GDP. So he's sort of providing great leadership for us. That's a Miami-based company, and kind of looks across the entire ecosystem of digital assets. We've got, Oro.edu, which is quite a disruptive ed tech company, which is kind of changing the model as AI sort of changes the game in terms of the types of education that you need and the types of jobs that are being created. So I'll pause there and see if, give you a chance to ask any questions at this stage. Uh, we will then go into the prepared part of this interaction where we've created some videos for you, speaking with folks like yourself who joined us, either many years ago or joined us recently. So, college students who have now been working with us for some time. We've tried to understand what their experiences have been. We then also talk to some of the leaders in these companies. So people like Martin Whitehead, who heads up Oro Edu. People like Charles Sampson, who heads up Oro Token Quest. So these are folks again from around the world who have played a leadership role and have joined one of the Oro companies. So with that, Ritu, do you have any questions so far from anyone? Otherwise, we can go into the prepared part of the video.
Okay, not any yet actually. So I
Okay.
think no one has inquired any queries as of now.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Well, there'll be plenty of time to ask questions, and there's actually quite a few questions that come during the video as well. So
I
with
think there
that,
is one question. We received one question
Ritu,
from Curious Naba. Please, Curious, tell us your name and your college. Good evening, sir. As a fresher, I wanted to ask that what the organization expects from us to bring in.
right. Okay. So yeah. So look, there's no sort of one size fits all requirement. Obviously, there are quite a few types of jobs that we have. They range from front end, software development, to back end software development, to full stack, to cloud management, to product management, where you don't need any coding skills. You're kind of the product architect, and you're looking at the 360-degree view of the project. To sales and business development, to investment and financial analysis. So as you can imagine, each one of these jobs has different skills and attributes that one is looking for. And there's also a combination of, you having certain skills and then learning on the job, learning, from your peers and your seniors in these roles. So I'd encourage you all to, we have detailed job descriptions for each one of the jobs that we have. They're all live on, you can just download the app. So you can go to oroedu.com, download the app, and just go to the job section. And then each job actually tells you what are the requirements for that job. And then it also actually tests you on one or two areas that are a necessary prerequisite for that job. Uh, Even if you don't like clear the test, you'll get an opportunity to attempt it again if there are areas where you don't understand it well. So you shouldn't be intimidated by that. You should, attempt it, learn from it, and then, there'll be a lot more learning on the job as well.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. And he has asked another question. His name is Shantanu Arora from BBD Lucknow. So,
Okay.
sir, as a student of MBA, Finance and Marketing, what can I do to brush up my skills for the company?
Yeah. So, again, even on the non-coding side, if you like, it depends on, there are sales and business development type roles. There are investment analysis type roles. There are price prediction and quantitative analysis type roles. So depending on which of these roles you're interested in, there are different requirements and different areas you can brush up. And we have kind of made it all digital, which is kind of our ethos and belief that ultimately, if you digitize the process, if you think through it, you identify all of the different workflows, and then you digitize it, you get the best value. So again, if you download the Oro Edu app and you go into the job section, then depending on which of these three jobs for the non-coders that I've talked about, or even product management, that's a non-coding job. So there's at least actually digital marketing. So there's at least 5 non-coding jobs. It will tell you in the app itself which things you need to brush up on, and then it will actually test you to make sure that you actually have brushed it up, or you have at least the starting skills that we would want in a candidate like that. So again, I encourage you to download the app and go to the job section and pick the job that you want, and then you'll see the requirements right there.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Another question by Shekhar Patel. What's the criteria for investment analyst role?
Yeah. So, when you say what's the criterion, I guess you mean what's the qualifications required. Um, so, what we request there is that we'd like to see if you're truly passionate about investing, right? Even if you're a young person and, you haven't had a lot of money to invest, but you can, so that's one of the requirements. You'll see it. There's a requirement to pitch us an idea that you have, right? It could be a stock, it could be a cryptocurrency, it could be like a private company. Maybe you think SpaceX, is going to double from its current valuation because you think Elon Musk is doing a fantastic job, and as space travel becomes more important, maybe it's all going to be about rockets going forward. You have to prepare a little pitch. And in addition to just writing it up, we also want to see your personality reflected in that. We want to see how you've thought through the idea, how you present the idea. So the specific requirement for that is to create a little pitch. It could be, and talk to it. So, you just record yourself. You could do it on Zoom or Teams or any of these free apps. And then you have a few slides where you kind of talk about the idea. You're required you'll see in the pitch, you're required to have a target price. So if you like something, we encourage you to try and quantify that because sometimes people just like companies, but investing is all about trying to identify what is not priced in by the market already. Right? It's not sufficient to say that I really love the Tata Group, and I think Ratan Tata was, a noble man, and he built a great franchise. That could be the beginning of a thesis, but what I really want to know you know, is everything, that is good about the Tata Group already in the price, right? So you could pick any of their individuals. So you could say Tata Motors, right? Now you may think that, Land Rover and Jaguar are really good looking cars, and they're starting to take market share both in India and abroad. But that's not sufficient. That's just you saying that I like this company, I like its products, but that's not a sufficient condition to say that I like, Tata Motors as an investment. So if you want to say that, then you need to think a bit deeper, and you need to think about what is the share price of Tata Motors today, what valuation does that imply, what types of earnings projections and price to earnings multiples, um, or you could do kind of an enterprise value type valuation where you look at the debt of the company and the equity value. You could use a discounted cash flow model. Um, and then you basically arrive at, you think that based on your math, and you projected this for the next 3 to 5 years. Anything beyond that, I think, is really not well founded. It's very hard to see beyond that. You say that, look, I projected, I looked at each one of the models that they have. I looked at the sales, and I think that in the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be doing these kind of sales. This is the profit margin. This is the EBITDA. I discounted back to today, and I think this company could be worth $50 billion. And currently it's priced at $30 billion. And so if I was to invest in it today, that would be a 66.66% price increase. And so that's why I think it's a great investment. So that's what we're looking for. And of course, like, that might be uh, too advanced, but frankly, it also may not be. Like, we've seen some great pictures. So actually, if you go onto the Oro.ai YouTube channel, you'll see like some of these investment pitches, and there's students from Stanford and Harvard and London Business School and LSE and IIT and all these other places, and it's actually quite staggering how good some of these investment pitches are. So um, I think that's the expectation. But to try your best shot, and then we'll evaluate it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. One more question from Hella, but I'll take it. Can you
Okay.
please
The
tell me
last
the
question, because I'm actually getting some other calls for my next meeting. But yeah, let's go ahead with the last question here.
okay, so can you please tell me the required skills for the backend role?
Back end, yeah. So that one is relatively more straightforward question. So, on the back end, the technologies that we're using mostly within the Oro Group are Python. That's probably the most used language. Then I'd say Node.js. That's also used quite a bit. Um, then maybe like, C or C++. Uh, those are really good, and Java. Those are really good languages. We tend to use them slightly less, but we still use them a fair amount. And then the back end, if you're sort of applying for a blockchain job, it's a bit different. So then the languages that matter are Solidity, Rust. So we have a separate JD right now. You'll see on the app for Rust developers, and Golang, and maybe Move. So those are, the slightly more advanced languages that deal with the problem that Python has, where if you get lots of synchronous commands, it tends to queue it up, whereas some of these other languages like Golang and Move can manage to do that synchronously rather than queuing them up. So those are the types of back-end skills that would make your application very competitive.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I think,
Great.
okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. I'm looking forward to working with you guys and having some of you join us in our journey.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Give us 2 minutes, everyone. We are getting back to you. All right. So before anyone complains, today's session, and from now on, the today's session is a pre-recorded video. We are on a very, very tight schedule, and we still want to make sure we give an overview of the company and our culture.
Which was a trading software platform. We've since built that out to be one of the largest infrastructure players within blockchain. So it's connected to about 105 centralized exchanges, about 120 DEXs, all the large OTC desks, and many of the large qualified custodians around the world. We've got two of our colleagues, Aditya and Navas from Oro Digital, who will also talk about their own experience from that. The IMS is an investment management system that is actually been moved from the US. It's now headquartered in Luxembourg. It's a marketplace for asset managers to raise capital. AIML is a that's artificial intelligence machine learning platform to create a suite of prediction models for digital assets. So it's everything from GANs, WGANs, LSTMs, transform models, where we essentially predict the price of digital assets and also invest in them. Oro.edu is another flagship venture. It has essentially disrupted the education space by creating a fully native AI app that curates a customized curriculum for students, everyone from class 11 upwards to professionals. And it also has a powerful learn to earn model where we are focused on a big problem in India, which is that a lot of the engineering colleges are half empty, and even the folks that are enrolled have less than half of the class actually finds a job after they graduate. Less of a problem in IT, though we've actually seen that same phenomenon play out in the ITs as well to a lesser extent. So we've got two of our colleagues from Oro.edu, Nikhil and Shresh, with us as well to talk about their experience. I'll run through the others pretty quickly. The idea is just to give you a flavor of all of the types of innovation that's happening within the Oro Group. So Oro.ai is a robo-advisor. So it's a fintech asset manager. Ideal Development is a co-innovation and co-working company. Oro Yoga is a health tech company. Shub.in is one of India's leading content publishing and book publishing companies. Oro Bridge is a German company that is one of the first to issue fully licensed tokens that tokenize real estate infrastructure and green bonds in Europe. Oro Bet is a betting platform, which is a prediction markets for real world events, like who wins the US election, for example. Oro Sui Clear is a JV with Sui, which is a spin-off from Facebook or Meta, as they now call it. Oracle is a venture where we essentially have a very deep data lake of pricing of various types of assets that we provide to various protocols. Oro Dex and Oro Liquid are our proprietary DEX aggregator, where we basically have algorithms that are able to get the best price from multiple liquidity pools. And the last point is that the ones in all caps are Web3, and the ones in non all caps are basically Web2 projects. And so as you can see, AI and blockchain sort of run prominently across all of these companies. So with that, I'll pause and pass the mic on to Oro Digital. So Aditya and Navas, whoever wants to kick off, and both of them are senior team members of ours now, who joined us right out of college and can share their experience. We also have one of the CEOs of one of our ventures called the Oro IMS on the line. Charlie, are you there?
I am. Nice to meet everyone. I can just give a little background on myself. Is that what you like more?
Yeah.
So So Charlie Phippen, I'm here outside of New York City, in the state of Connecticut, actually. So welcome everyone. Really happy to see everyone on the call, and it's exciting to talk to such a great group. My background is I have about 25 years in finance. So I've worked at big firms like Goldman Sachs, UBS, BNP Paribas as a trader, and then moved more into management and running businesses. So I just was running as the CEO of a firm called Water Tower Research. And now we're working with Amar, and we're looking to expand that business as well. So nice to meet everyone.
Hi guys, I'm Aditya and I graduated from IIT Delhi in 2023. My major was in mechanical engineering, and since then I'm a full stack developer at Oro Digital, where I contribute to both back-end front-end system, as well as I am responsible for managing the CI/CD pipelines as well. So let me tell you about briefly what our day-to-day looks like. So for front-end development, we ensure that our platforms are user-friendly and visually appealing by building intuitive and responsive interfaces. We work extensively with React.js, TypeScript to create seamless user experience, and we also like have a significant focus on performance optimizations as well, because like in order to remove the UI latency as much as possible so that our clients can use our tools effortlessly. On the backend side, we develop robust APIs mostly using Python, and we work closely with databases like Redis and Postgres to implement efficient data storage and retrieval mechanisms. And for CI/CD pipelines, we mostly work with Ansible, GitHub Actions, and Docker to design CI/CD pipelines that automate testing and development, as well as the monitoring procedures. So yeah, handing over to Nawaz, he can guide you more on the backend side.
Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm Nawaz Zafar. I'm a lead Python developer in Oro Digital. So the product that we are building is OEMS, which is Order and Execution Management System. So a brief background on me. So I'm also a 2023 graduate. Me and Aditya were in the same batch, and we got selected for Oro Digital, and it has been a great experience as we got to learn a lot about algorithmic trading and how these system works, and how like crypto is redefining the future, as we say. And we are building as we are creating the future. So that's pretty interesting. We are not as we are creating new innovative solutions in the backend space. So the backend stack is mostly Python based, where we have a lot of different Docker containers which manages different services. So we have balances, we have algo execution, we have exchange management, we have everything in between. And we also have a very interesting decentralized integrations as well. So yeah, overall my experience in Oro Digital has been very great. I got to learn a lot here. So over to answer.
Yep, thanks, Nawaz. So maybe we can now move to Shrey, who can talk about his experience at Oro.edu.
Yeah, okay. So hi guys, I'm Shresh Jaswal and I'm working at Oro.edu. So Oro.edu is basically the edtech side of Oro, and we are creating this platform for upskilling, and I'm working here as a product manager. So if you have seen the app of Oro.edu, I have designed it completely. So with Oro.edu, we are trying to achieve, to create a platform for, everyone who wants to learn, and as well as, connect with the jobs, internships, freelance opportunities. So in a way, we are trying to fill the gaps between, learn to earn, because you have seen like people in the market, they are learning from various platforms. Some they are learning from YouTube and everything, but learning is just the first step, right? So after learning, you need to connect with the right opportunities as well. So with that goal in mind, I started working already. So before that, like I have 7 years of experience. I passed out in 2018. So initially, I was working in edtech sector of like K-12. So we were building a product for JEE, NEET, and those exams. So I have myself cleared those exams. So I started with that domain. So, but like from last 2 years, I have been working in this upskilling sector. So for mostly college students and professionals. So the very good thing about Oro.edu is we are trying to use the latest technology like AI, as you have seen. Like AI is it has gotten so much power now. So we are leveraging AI in Oro.edu and trying to build a platform where where AI can assist you in a way which is so personalized, and it knows everything about you and can help you at every step. So Oro.edu is not just about learning. AI is along the way, and it will help you with doubt solving, revision, and it will create you custom courses. Like if you give a exam and you see you have some weak concepts, so it will create you a custom course just for those weak concepts, dedicated for you, personalized. And also we have built this engagement on our Oro.edu app, because learning is just one part. Engagement is something where you actually explore the other side of learning. So the whole app is gamified and fully infused. So you can connect with other people. You can talk to experts in chat rooms, and there's e-money or a coin system in the app. So in a way, this app is, a whole platform what we need at this time, because there are so many platforms. All what we do is something, it starts with the learning part, and then you know uh, um, tutoring, mastering, and then at the end it's the earning. So we are connecting learning to earn. So we are not just uh, a platform which I would say you just go and start a course and learn and finish. So at the end, you will get the opportunities, freelance, full time, and internship and everything. So that's what we are trying to build in order to do. So in the future, like if you are gonna have any doubts related to product, not just the learning part, but any doubt related to the product, like any feature, anything, you can ask me in this meeting. Yeah. So now handing over to Nikhil, so back in the paper.
Hello. So I'm Nikhil. I passed out in 2016 and have been working for Oro.edu for last 8 months. So the backend architecture of Oro.edu is mostly based on Python and Flask. There are multiple microservices, and the middleware is in Node.js Express. For databases, we sometimes use Mongo, but mostly we use MySQL. And yeah, so for our Gen AI needs, sometimes we use ChatGPT, but most of the time we rely on Gaia.net, which is an uh, open source Gen AI platform where anyone can upload their own models and they can host their own nodes, right? And for some ML-based tasks, we are using BERT and other models. So in the backend, I would say we use multiple tools based on their usage. So whatever the requirement is, we pick the best suitable tool and then we start using it. Uh, that's all for backend. Over to Omar.
Right. Thanks, Nikhil. Okay, so you've now heard from quite a few IIT alums who are currently part of our team. We have several, as I said, been working with IITs for over a decade, most closely with Delhi, because that's just close to our one of our data science centers, but with all of the IITs as well. Okay, so with that, we'll break into Q&A in case there are any questions.
Hello, sir. My name is Akash Bhartwaj. I'm, I'm from IT channel. I'm also a placement coordinator and as well as a student over here. I'm tech student. And my question was like, there are a lot of products that we have just discussed about. At tech product is the product based on Web3 and Web2. So how does the ideation process goes on for all these products? So in the initial phase, how does that
The what process? Sorry, the what process?
ideation process?
Ideation. Yeah. No, that's a critical part of because we're at the very early stage. So we're at sort of, I mean, the project starts sort of pre-seed, and we typically come in at the pre-seed level. So it's all about ideation. And so what happens is that it's called a venture studio for a reason, as opposed to an incubator or an accelerator. You probably have heard all of these, and I know there are accelerators at IIT as well. Um, so a venture studio, the difference is that in a venture studio, you are kind of not only incubating, but you're also building from within. So what we tend to do is we leverage extensively our own networks of people. And so a lot of the initial ideas and the initial founders come from within the network, as opposed to just, meeting somebody who you don't know at all, and then sort of just investing in their project. So that's the nuance between a venture studio and an incubator. Um, so the template is that uh, you know 25 years and have done that across most probably the US, China, and India, but then also across Western Europe and Asia, Greater Asia. So Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Australia. So have seen a lot of the investment teams that have started early on in the US. So if you look at the e-commerce team, we've invested in that globally. So we invested early on in eBay and Amazon. And then when the biggest opportunity in e-commerce moved to China, we invested in Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu. Uh, and then finally, when the opportunity moved to India, we were part of the biggest cash burn war ever seen in internet history, which was between Flipkart, Snapdeal, Shopclues, Paytm, and Amazon. And so my point is that we've seen a lot of these investment themes play out globally, and we kind of know the pattern, and what has been successful and what can be successful going forward. Of course, the past is not always a predictor of the future, but there's quite a lot of investment acumen because of that in the team. And that's just not myself. There are others who've been part of that journey with me. And so when we ideate in the venture studio, we have a pretty good handle on what we think is a powerful idea, and we tend to first invest in it ourselves. So we seed all of these companies ourselves, and then we allow other external investors to come in. So, for example, in Aditya and Nawaz's company, Oro Digital, we now have two prominent VCs from Silicon Valley, Inventors Capital and Silicon Valley Quad, who've come in and done the subsequent rounds.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the question. Thank you. All right, any other questions?
Yes, sir, requesting you to please describe the blockchain developer role.
Yeah, sure. So Nawaz, I'll allow you to come in as well, but let me kick it off. So, the languages that we tend to code in most frequently are obviously Solidity and then Rust. But we're also, given the partnership that we have with Sui, which is the Meta Facebook spinoff, that is all done in a language called Move. And then, we're also actually now actively looking for Golang developers as well. So within the blockchain space, those are the four sort of prominent languages that we code in. And then, in fact, one of our hires from IIT, Rohit, who joined us from IIT Delhi, has done some fantastic work in that area. Um, so we built this very cool aggregator, which is a bit like Jupyter, which is a DEX aggregator on Solana, which is valued over $1 billion. So that just focuses on 8 to 10 DEXs within within the Solana ecosystem. We've been able to extend that to a number of other blockchains, both EVM and non-EVM. So that's an example of somebody like yourself, coming in and kind of building, with Oro and leveraging all of the contacts that we can bring to bear, the resources that we can bring to bear from the entire ecosystem. So every time we build in the space, we have the benefit of partnering with the blockchains themselves, with the L1s and the L2s. We know many of the founders well. We sometimes get grants from them as well to help us build and innovate. So yeah, that's a very exciting opportunity here.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions?
What will be the steps of hiring process?
So the hiring process is reasonably kind of structured. So maybe sometimes 2 rounds of exams, and then we filter it down to the interview stage. And then at the interview stage, you have a few senior folks from the team meet with the candidate and assess fit, and then we just extend an offer. So this year alone, we've already extended 10 offers across the ITs, and are looking to make some additional hires coming days.
Thank you.
So, sir, for all the roles that are being present over at Oro, so is the hiring process same, or is it different for every kind of role, basically? Like there is back-end role, front-end role.
Similarly, structure that I defined is very similar. Of course, the exams that you're giving can be quite different. So if you're applying for a back-end role, you get back-end front-end. If applying for front-end, you get front-end, blockchain, so on and so forth.
Okay, sir.
Great. So if there's no further questions, we'll leave it there. So thanks everyone for joining and your interest, and we look forward to engaging with you. In the colleges you go to, even in the IITs, about 50% of people and we really thought that the current education system is broken. Now, of course, you guys are the lucky few who are going to really good colleges, but frankly, even in the colleges you go to, even in the IITs, about 50% of people who graduate really struggle to find a job after graduation. And out of those who do, many of the employers find that the skills that the students come in with are not well suited for the skills they need on the job. And so a lot of time gets spent in reskilling and training the students to get them up to that level. The education system is also a bit outdated. That's our belief. So it's a World War II education system that basically industrializes the process and batches students together by age, and through a very rigid framework where you have to very early on in your life choose one stream, and then you're pretty much stuck on that stream for the rest of your life. We believe that especially now with the advent of AI and a lot of tasks getting commoditized, what's far more important is to engender real learning, a real training of the mind, have a multidisciplinary capability set that allows you to get things done in the real world, rather than a siloed sort of education system that teaches you, sometimes quite often just to answer, questions via rote, or trains you more to be conscientious and do certain types of homeworks and then do well in the exams. It doesn't really teach you to be productive in the workplace. And actually, India is a glaring example. So there's a very important paper written by the World Bank about India, where the title is, "Where did all the education go?" Because from independence to now, India has massively increased its literacy rate. As you know, certain states like Kerala have 100% literacy rate. And if education was actually leading to greater productivity, we would have seen a massive increase in per capita incomes in India. And so there's been very little correlation actually between higher literacy and higher productivity growth. Per capita incomes in India are still stuck in, Africa type levels, at your, $2,000-3,000 per annum. Whereas at the levels of, if education had actually delivered the productivity growth that we thought initially that it does, we would have been far further than we are now. So anyway, that's just one inspiration that we had, to create Oro.edu, which is kind of this alternative way of learning where it's multidisciplinary, it's age heterogeneous, and it's really about teaching you skills and then providing you a job on the back of that. So yeah, wanted to share one of the ventures and the story behind it. We have a few, but also happy to go back to taking questions. Oh, I think there was a question about the product management role. So yeah, I think Abhishek said it, clearly it's not something that requires any coding knowledge per se, but it is a role that will, sit between the coding team, so the front end team, the back end team, the cloud management team, and it does require you to interface with all of the, the commercial team, the sales team. So with all of the teams, as you spec out a particular idea and bring it to life. The ability to interact with coders, to speak the language, to understand some of the jargon, is helpful. I mean, it is something you could learn on the job as well. But I guess those folks who have some understanding of, some of the jargon that is involved when you're talking with, back-end team, and understanding what a cloud is, how servers are set up, understanding what, CI/CD process is, just at a very high level. So at least you're able to design products by taking out all of those factors.
Can I just add to Amar's comments there, which I think are very pertinent and hopefully helpful to the group. As Amar said, we met at Stanford. We've both got a very deep passion to try to bridge this gap. And it's a gap that both Amar's seen and myself have seen in our work during our consulting days. I was a partner at PwC. We used to recruit graduates every year. And I saw this in real time. We had very smart people coming through with good degrees, but that gap with us being able to deploy them immediately and to get the usage, if you like, get them in front of clients, there was a gap. And I think that's been increasing for the reasons that Amar has said. So that's where we see Oro.edu come in to try and help talented individuals like yourselves to bridge that gap. The universities and the colleges are really good at helping you to think and to how to think about a problem, but that application is a little bit limited, and for it's not just anecdotal evidence now. There's real evidence coming from this, both from the academic world and from talking to clients in the way Amar said. So that's what we're trying to do. And the other aspect I just wanted to stress is that in what we're doing through Oro.edu, it's quite rigorous. There will be examinations, not to be too worried about, but we feel that also helps bridge a gap, which is that there has been, in some cases around the world, there's been inflation in some of the gradings, and they cannot always tell who really knows stuff from if there's been an awful lot of people sort of getting similar grades, whereas we feel that's not as realistic as it could be. So the examination side of things, we feel will help people have a credential that when they get a certificate with us, they're definitely able to pass. That will augment what they have in terms of their educational qualification. We see that is not just, we're not just embedding the skills in people, we're having sort of a proof, if you like, that they get a certificate. And we think the two of those go together will really be something that will help the youngsters, the talented individuals that we know are out there, bridge that gap and get the employment that we want them to get at the moment some of them are missing out on. I just wanted to stress.
Just to add to that. Yeah. And, Martin also has a PhD in behavioral economics. And, one of the things that we really drill down on is, what we call our 2 Sigma approach. So the parent company of EDU is actually called Oro 2 Sigma. And the 2 Sigma approach is that there's a lot of scientific research that's been done to show that if you can add mastery learning, which is what Martin was sort of referencing, where if students are not allowed to go on to the next next year or next chapter without having at least some mastery of the fundamentals that have been taught in the prior chapter, then that really learning out. In fact, it helps it by 1 standard deviation. And the other is if you can have some individualized tutoring, then that helps by another standard deviation. Now that was obviously very expensive to do, and the schooling system only achieves that to some degree. But now we've been able to leverage AI to provide individual tutors for every student. And so together we've been able to achieve a 2 Sigma improvement in learning outcomes.
Now that you have a glimpse into Oro Group, we are excited to announce that we are currently offering internship opportunities. If you are eager to take a significant step in your career journey and gain invaluable experience within a rapidly expanding company, we have several engaging roles available. Specifically, we are looking for enthusiastic interns in the following areas: product management intern, business and investment analyst intern, blockchain developer intern, front-end developer intern, back-end developer intern, full-stack developer intern, digital marketing intern, sales intern, video animator intern, and UI and UX designer intern. So how does our hiring process work for these internships? Here's a breakdown. Our team has already shared the detailed job description, that is JDs, and the round 1 assessment materials with your respective colleges and university. To apply, please register your name and other necessary details with your college representatives, who will then forward the consolidated list to us. Our internship assessment process involves 4 key stages. The first is an aptitude test designed to evaluate your problem-solving skills, logical reasoning, and analytical capabilities. Successful candidates will then proceed to the second round, which focuses on your communication and collaboration abilities. We will be observing how effectively you convey your ideas and how well you contribute within a team setting. The subsequent round is a technical assessment where we will gauge your foundational knowledge and practical understanding relevant to the internship role you are interested in. If you perform well in these assessments, you will move on to a personal interview, that is the final interview. This is our opportunity to get to know you better, your motivations, your approach to work, and how you might integrate into our team and company culture. Given that these are internship positions, our assessments are designed to be a bit more streamlined and focused on your potential rather than extensive prior experience. Now let's talk about the internship itself. The duration will be of 8 weeks with some flexibility based on your academic schedule and availability. This opportunity is ideally suited for students in their second and third year who are keen to gain practical and hands-on experience, explore their professional interest, and build a strong foundation for their future careers. And here's the exciting prospect. Outstanding performance during your internship can lead to an opportunity to transition into a full-time role with Oro Group. While the specific compensation for a full-time position will depend on the job description and your individual performance, we are genuinely looking for talented individuals who can grow with us in the long term. So, if any of these internship roles resonate with your aspirations, we strongly encourage you to apply through your college. And of course, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask them in the live chat. Please type your name, college, and your question into the live chat. We will be picking up questions one by one from there. Thank you. Hi, Mahima Tripathi. Hello, this side Mahima Tripathi from BBD. I want to ask that I am pursuing CA with MBA and cleared intermediate so this will give advantage to me in investment analysis role. To keep things in streamlined and uniform, you have to perform in those assessments as well. And if you perform well, sure, you are most welcome to join our organization. Any other question? I think there are no more questions. So we are concluding the session for today. Thank you so much for joining us today and all the very best.